So the first lesson we're going to look at is objects, but as always, please complete your do now first. You have 5 minutes to complete these 6 questions. Please pause the PowerPoint while you do this. Here are your answers. As always, please mark them accurately. If you've got any missing spaces or if you've got the answer incorrect, please write in the correct one, preferably in a green pen. And finally, please make a note of the score, as I know your teachers will be very excited to see these. So what is physical theatre? Physical theatre is a genre of theatrical performance that encompasses storytelling primarily through physical movement. It's a form of theatre that puts emphasis on movement rather than dialogue. It's where performers can communicate using their bodies. An example of this would be where you would become a table, a chair, a door. Task 1. I'd like you to write down 5 or 6 people you'd like to work with. You've got 1 minute to do this. Don't forget to pause the PowerPoint. Task 2. In your new groups, I want you to think of a shape and I want you to create it. This can be 2D or 3D. Depending on how many people are in your group, will enable you to decide whether you want to do a 2D shape or a 3D shape. As we are not in the classroom, I want you to draw it out on the paper and I want you to locate where your group members are. You've got 10 minutes to do this, so please pause the PowerPoint. Okay, now we're going to move on to an object, and this must be 3D this time. So, an example of a 3D object could be a table with 4 legs, a chair, a door. It could go even further to be things like a car, a house, a tree. However, I want you to be creative. So think of lots of different objects and then pick one and create this on your piece of paper. You've got a further 10 minutes to do this, so please pause the PowerPoint. Task 4. I'd like us to move on to moving objects now. So in your group, I want you to think of an animal. This must be 3D, you must all be connected and you all must represent one animal. You have got 7 minutes to do this first task. You will then have a further 8 minutes to add movement. An example of this would be if everybody in the group was lying on the floor and they were all connected by holding the person in front's ankles. This would represent a snake. Now, how could we add movement to that snake? If this is quite easy and you do it quite quickly, add in more movements. What are the characteristics of the animal you have chosen? I do want you to be creative, so really think outside the box. As always, please pause the PowerPoint while you do this. Well done everybody, I hope you've enjoyed your first lesson on physical theatre today. As always, I want you to complete this reflection, so write down the answers to these 3 questions and you've got 5 minutes to do this.